Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 128. Hopefully I've got the information right in the title. Sometimes I stuff it up. So I'll just cue the intro music and I'll talk with you in a minute. Hopefully it's all working. Ooh. Why is that loud? A bug. All right. Mistake. That's all right. I'm coming for you. Secureteam. So we'll be looking at some viral videos again, and we'll look at more MUFON cases, and I'm going to look at that New Zealand case again for more information. This is a 3-hour stream. Investigations take a bit longer than 10 minutes. And you can join in, help us figure out stuff. Truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. Hello. Hello. Good to be back. Okay. I just love my crazy intros. Righto. Keep it interesting. Let's just check everything. I think it was playing. Hello. Good to be back. Now I want to get John singing that with me. Now I better unmute him, I guess. Oh, do we have to? Okay, let's see. I gotta get the right button. Are you there, John?
I'm here.
All right, I got the echo on. Okay, I was just hearing myself talk back. Oh, let's party! I just heard. Did we get a dancing alien though? I didn't see it. Oh no, let's party. That's the battery. What's going on with the battery? All right, it's just fully charged to 100%. That's good. Sometimes we get a loose connection on the battery input and it's not charging and I don't notice. So it says let's party when it hits 100%, and it makes play some Terminator music or something. I can't remember now when the battery starts going down. So it just alerts us. So yeah, I just need to check everything here before I minimize it. Cool, we got 4 watching, is it? It's good to have you here. I'll just put my welcome mission in. I did a play around with the magnifier again, some new settings, and hopefully it works a wee bit better because it was wandering all over the place. CPU seems to be peaking up for some reason. I did a fresh reboot though, just hopefully it's going to go all right. Probably something's playing on the browser or something that I haven't noticed. Looks like
checks the sound.
The music played okay.
Let's find out.
I thought you were listening to it while I had you muted. Live stream. I thought you were listening to it while I had you muted. Yeah, you always hear me, even if it goes wrong. Just be aware of that, though. So the music is a different thing. It comes through a different method. When it goes wrong, when Google stuffs up, I always choose your headset mic, so you always hear me, but you won't hear the other sound effects, or they won't hear you. So you're best to hear yourself talk, and then you know it's working. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so we were looking at MUFON cases last time, but I'll get to that in a minute. But let's see what's out there. There are some things that were brought to the web through Secureteam again, which I need to go over just to bring some truth to it, and also some other stuff. But I haven't prepared for it. It's just non-stop here. Just keeping up with fixing technical problems and managing the channel behind the scenes. There's actually a lot of work when you do it one-man band.
There's a lot of work.
There's only so much I can give to these guys on Discord without giving away passwords. Although I think we can make moderators for YouTube as well. But yeah, I'm not too sure how that works exactly. Whether they can access and edit videos and stuff like that. But and of course we got BitChute. I'm gradually migrating stuff to BitChute as well as backup. So
yes,
I'll just we got Secureteam here. I'll just click on that, load them up for the time being, see if his videos are still up. So yeah,
I spent about an hour and a half today on BitChute going over your videos. So
all right, yeah, I saw that. So yeah, first of all, we got a copyright claim. Just bring attention to that, which is nonsense, of course. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm not too worried about it because they haven't managed to delete the video. But of course they want to take ownership of it and place. The thing is, when someone puts a copyright claim, they can put their own ads on it. It means they could just cram it up with ads, right, every 5 minutes and make it unwatchable. That's a good way to control people that way if they can't get it deleted. But there's a thing called fair use that most media corps don't seem to honor. And this guy probably knows it because it was manually reviewed and submitted, even though it comes under fair use. So I've done various videos about this in the past where I've been attacked by other YouTubers, namely UFO Man. They tried to put a claim on me. Was totally rejected, and rightly so. So yeah, don't take on me because I know my stuff.
Yes, you do.
And you just look idiot at the end of it all. So fair use. This is the thing I got put in. Hopefully it's there still. I didn't delete it by mistake. But these are all the outstanding, ridiculous copyright claims I got on me so far. So the latest one is, of course, Secureteam. Owes me $1 million. It's 43 minutes long, and I used like a 3-minute clip from Coast to Coast where he was saying that he doesn't hoax anything. We all know that's not true. The people that are wise and critical thinkers out there will know that was not true, that he doesn't hoax. Yeah,
that was a foolish thing for him to say too.
Yeah, and he said he's going to offer $1 million if you can find any CGI. But well, actually, yesterday he put out a video which is CGI. So yeah, he's going to owe people a lot of millions of dollars if they take his word to it, take him to court, maybe. But yeah, that'll be someone in USA that do that probably.
I'm here. I can do it.
But you can see here, the videos had 184 views only, so it's not getting out there anyway. And it's got 5 downvotes and 8 likes there, and 34 comments, which I bet most of those are ghosted. You probably only 3 comments on it, or probably. So here we got this one here, live 66. I think that's where I used the New Zealand Kiwi shutting down the light system, but I didn't matrix it. I didn't transform. I didn't transform it. So I just used it regularly, but I did modify it in a way that I put good night over top of it and tried to reverse the image. But it turns out the original was probably reversed. The person that had it up had it reversed, so they didn't get the copyright content ID claim on it. And I did, because I reversed it back to where it was normally, I guess. So I didn't realize that at the time. So I got the copy strike here, where they could take over the whole live stream. Did I care? No, of course I didn't care. It's just annoying though. That's like a 40-year-old cartoon that it's still copyrighted. So they're still making money off it by printing it out for tourists or whatever on T-shirts after 40 years. You know. So really, that should be. The guy's dead now as well. The guy died a couple of years ago. So really, it should be available to all Kiwis to use now, because it's well known. You know, in the night close down of the analog TV system they had. They used to close it down at midnight. Nowadays, it's like 24/7. You know, TV's 24/7 now, because not everybody works regular hours. And the other one that got shut down, which had the most copyright claims I've ever seen on one video, was this one on mind control. And they wanted to shut down that video fast. It got copyright claims probably within 10 minutes of me finishing that live stream. 5 of them.
Wow.
Got 5 copyright claims on that straight away. Even though,
seriously?
Yeah, seriously. It can't be played in most countries, including my own, apparently. So the whole thing's just ridiculous, and it's had more put on it since. So that's why I edited that one. I re-edited that and blurred out a lot of things, took out accidental music that played on the background of one of the videos of the web page, where they played some bloody music on it. What caught me out. And that one there, live stream 5. See, it didn't take long to get a copyright strike. 5 in.
Like I said, pretty soon you're going to be reduced to using an Etch-a-Sketch. Nuts.
Back to VHS tape, you reckon?
Pretty much.
I can't remember what the copyright claim was on that one. That was one of my investigation ones on MUFON cases, I think.
Live stream number 5. Wow.
I think it was, again, background music that accidentally played on a web page that I visited for information. Again, it was one that most of these, if you try and fight them, they just bounce back to you saying that's not fair use. And actually, a lot of it's accidental, you know, accidental clips,
right.
You know.
Sure.
But again, am I worried? No. Doesn't stop me uploading these ones, which I should do, to BitChute, which will never be taken down because it's a peer-to-peer network system. It's not centralized, it's not controlled, and that's what caused all that problem with the shooting. So they tried to block it worldwide in the blacklisting. Obviously, some countries didn't abide by that. And this one here is SpaceX. That one really got the hell out of me on this one. I used the footage, just like 1,000 other videos, used the footage up there. And I did a proper analysis on the UFOs that were spotted in there. All the other sites were saying they were drones or UFOs, and I proved it wasn't. And that was including Unirock that said it was a UFO, who's meant to be a truther. So he never corrected himself either, even though I gave him that video. But this company, the guy that filmed the SpaceX, he refused to release it as fair use because I talked right through the whole video. I just played the video and talked right over it. I muted the sound, apart from the end where the rocket blast went off. No different than a news channel, of course. And so he took control of it, and it's only had 81 views. I said, I doubt it will even get 1,000 views. How about if I send you $1, because that's equivalent to what 1,000 views will be? And I never got a reply back. So they just wanted me. They just wanted to take ownership of it, so they can cram it with ads if they want to every 5 minutes and ruin the whole episode. So this is as control of your content, and Google allows that to happen. A lot of these are only like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute long, and Google allows them to take full control of a 3-hour live stream. So how is that even fair?
Right.
You know, so this is the sort of censorship that we're dealing with. It's just not right.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Worse and worse.
So this is a copyright claim I got, and an email saying that they hand reported it. Coast to Coast AM, Jan 5th, Jimmy Church. You can bet Jimmy Church had something to do with this, probably. Okay, the company is AdRev for rights holder. Well, they should know. They should know the legal cases out there where fair use. This is clearly fair use. That I was using it for critical reporting. This is like attacking. This is like attacking a reporter, like a news channel. How many videos do you see out there every day that they put up a news clip from CNN and then talk about it? Pretty much every day you see stuff like that all the time. You know, Jimmy Dore, Mike Dice, probably 1,000 other creators out there do that every day. There's a guy there's even a guy that used movie trailers and to give a review of the movie, and he gets endless copyright takedowns all the time. Apparently he now is pretty much excluded because he counterclaims it and wins every time. But when I do it, I don't win. Because that's what that was. That one of those lives that I was looking at. One of those was a claim from Bullywood, as I call them, not Hollywood, Bullywood, for using their trailer on that live that I did that time. And then I zoomed in, right? Remember, I zoomed in. It wasn't actually full screen. It was clipped. And I slowed it down. Did I slow that one down? I think I even slowed it down. I still managed to get a copyright claim on it. And movie trailers should be publicly available for promotion by anybody that wants to take it and promote it for them. And yet they still want to own copyright on it. Now, how does that make any sense whatsoever? So, yeah. So this is my rant and beef about the situation that's going on the web. It's just disgusting, really, as far as I'm concerned. So I put that claim.
Yeah, I went ahead and the links that you included in our app, I went ahead and went to them and watched them, and I was just shocked at all the copyright stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, you see how some try to take control, right? Like I used a PD water clip that someone, and I showed you all the screen snapshots where it said it could be used free for commercial use and all that sort of stuff. So apparently they used the same water clip on the music video, and of course they protected it with the content ID. I keep saying context, content ID system, and that detects any use of video clips as well as the sound in it. I think you meant to untick some things saying that the video content is PD, but the music is copyright. So they only didn't match the music, not the actual video. So a lot of these guys do it on purpose. These companies here, these third-party companies, who go and protect it on behalf of the music writers are doing it wrong. And there's a particular company that does it really bad, and that's that Merlin Idol one. Yeah, so if you watch my video on that, you can see the nasty letter I sent him, and that was done. That was reversed within 4 hours of me sending that email. So yeah,
Right.
on to the next topic. I
Yeah,
guess.
ASCAP has pretty stringent copyright rules. They're getting around that. You know, representing the music industry and songwriters and all that stuff.
But it's not
Got a lot of
really.
power.
It's the music, the bands and all that don't actually benefit from it. So you can bet they hardly get any money from that. You know, what they get anyway? $1 per album sound. You know, CD sold or whatever it's called.
Yeah, if they're lucky. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's people like Simon Cowell that are creaming in all the profits. It's only people like Beatles that have been so popular worldwide, sold so much, and that they fight tooth and nail for decent commissions from their middleman.
Yeah.
So they made quite a lot of money, you know. And same with Kiss as well. I think he did his own sort of managing, didn't he? And then you got Gene Simmons, I think the Kiss one was, and then you got
Paul McCartney is worth like 800 million.
Yep,
just from royalties.
Well, Ozzy Osbourne is another one. His wife is a manager, and she's got 350 million, and he's got 300. Wow. They both got their own sort of bank accounts. she's got more than him because she's the manager. Yeah. Well, it's surprising that they're still back together because he's always getting sexual favors from other women, isn't he? And always drunk. So yeah, but he's an entertaining guy.
Oh sure, you know. Plus, they have a 35 million square foot house, so she probably lives in one half and he's in the other. They probably never see each other.
Yeah. It's a lot of. It's interesting to see how Hollywood works. All their children seem to get into the same genre, don't they? Same. They become music people or producers or what do you call them? Cameramen or whatever, you know, and singers and actors. But they don't need to because their parents are so rich. They don't need to really have any of that sort. They don't even have to have their career like that. They could go out and enjoy life, you know. But maybe they see it as fun. Maybe because they grow up on it and they get used to it. They see it as no hassle, and they sort of see it differently to the average person. You know, with that amount of money that their two parents got, they could buy their own island somewhere and forget the rest of the world exists, you know, and just fly in stuff, you know, when they need it, like food and whatnot. Now, that's basically what that Virgin guy does, doesn't he? He's got his own island.
That's exactly what he does.
Yeah. So,
it got his island got pretty much wiped out by a hurricane. I guess it was 2 years ago.
Oh, did it?
And boy, within a matter of days, he had crews in there, and they were rebuilding everything. It cost him a bloody fortune.
Yeah,
he did it. He can afford it.
So, where do we begin with Secureteam? Well, let's start off with the easy one. He's followed the trend here with the black hole. Let's see if it plays first. I think I might have it muted. Hopefully, that music at the beginning always throws me back in the chair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if it's going to work. Okay, it's undone my speaker redirect, the looks of it. Silly thing.
Well, did you think I'd ever come back? Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Well, I'm back.
There it is.
So I guess I proved many of you wrong, and I know many of you have been worrying, where has Tyler been? The last video I posted was
That looks like
a weasel.
No, that's not actually him. That's a 3D image, some software he's using to create him.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't think that's really him. Surely not. It looks 3D. It looks artificial. Looks like something UFO theater would do. Who out there knows for sure? It doesn't look real until we see him talk.
6 or 7 days ago, and in that video, things were pretty glum.
Actually, it could be the Secureteam could all be a robot, and we all been fooled for a long time that thinking it's a real person.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
That
Oh my
would be
God.
interesting. It was a whole social experiment on everybody on the UFO field.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
So who's
That's
who's the actor that went to the premiere there? Well, that's the question. Maybe that's really him, and maybe he's got a avatar and someone creates all the videos for him, uses his avatar to say it's him talking and all that. That'd be really cool, and it'd be the most biggest laugh we ever had, or at least I would.
I still think he's got people doing everything behind the scenes for him, but he just does voiceover reading scripts. I could swear to it.
Well, I thought that for a long time, actually.
Yep.
Anyway,
Spoken very.
Now this guy is depressed because his channel's crashing. He's getting less than 100 subs a day and 100,000 views a day, maximum up to 300,000 views a day, and he's got 2.1 million subs. So I think that's why he's depressed. He's seeing that his money's drying up from ads and all that because people aren't watching his stuff anymore. Now, that's probably due to my effort of bringing awareness, and people don't realize how much I do to do that. And this is why we got people like Coast to Coast trying to bring me down, and he's been wise to leave me alone. If he brings attention to me, it's only going to be worse for him. But yeah, on to the topic, so we can get to it rather than talking about his depression state.
Yep.
This one here with black hole, he blabs on with the regular science view that it's
the artificially colored black hole.
Yeah, it's all CGI. This whole thing's not a real image; it's CGI, and we'll go over that in a minute. So 720. Yep. Okay, we'll just carry on from there. So he hasn't got closed captions, which is kind of strange. Can't see the closed captions here. Off. Hasn't got auto captions on it. So he must have disabled it. Why? I don't know.
News out right now. You've probably seen other videos on it getting millions of views, but I said, heck, I'm going to do a video on it as well, just because it's so awesome to me. And as you saw in the title of this video, why indeed should this image you're looking at here inspire chills down your spine or some sort of magical feeling that connects you to the universe and to film and television that have based these films and shows around these gargantuan black holes that we know have existed in space for billions of years, but we've never just been able to get a concrete photograph of one of them. We never.
Okay, there's the first mistake. When people say photograph, it's not a photograph. It's a composition done by computer. Radio telescopes spread across the globe on one side, all aimed at a particular spot in the sky. And it's quite ridiculous when I show you some other information, how stupid it all sounds. We're talking about 55 light years away, and they're trying to pick up radio signals and then filter it all, and then recolor it and make these images of so-called it's sucking in energy into the black void, which could be simply a massive black star or something like that, or massive plume of dust that's got so much gravity that it's sucking the other stars into it. You just don't know. The thing is, the scientists out there believe in space-time, Einstein's theory, and I've pointed out lots of problems with that, with the redshift, where the galaxies are moving away at different speeds, but they ignore that. Because if it's expanding at a constant rate, why are all the galaxies moving away at different speeds, There's lots of flaws in it, and there's no dark matter that they can find, even though they need it to work it with the Big Bang theory and all that sort of stuff. So cosmology is just baby science really still, and they're just guessing because we can't travel 55 billion light years away and actually get a camera there to actually film it in real time. So we'll probably never know in our time what really is out there. All we can do is make theories and guess things. And basically this is guessing. Took a 20-year-olds, they wrote a lot of code together to tied all the radio telescopes together to collect the data. Then they got to merge all the data together and hope they didn't make any mistakes. You know, how many coding mistakes do you have in Windows or Chrome browser or Google for that? You know, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. So that's all we really need to talk about, that one there. So but this is where it all breaks down. So come across a couple of videos here of how the galaxies, our solar system actually looks in space, and our galaxy alone. Okay, we're spinning on a spiral arm in the galaxy. I think we're moving like something like 170,000 kilometers per second in space. We're not just sitting still here on a rock. So this emanation here shows you how we're taught how the solar system is actually working to what it really is doing. So I'll just play that here now. I don't think it's got any sound. We'll just leave it off. So here's our solar system spinning around the sun, but that's not how it's actually working. We're moving in space in 3D, and this is how the solar system actually looks. And you can see it's forming this helix pattern. So that's a little demo there. But there's a better one that someone put together here, a longer one, which actually gives more details. What's going on here? It's gone on to the next one. I thought autoplay was stopped on this. How do we disable that? Is autoplay on? It is too. How many times do I turn that off? Anyway, I'll post that little one there because it's quite a good one. I think that's the one up the top there. One Life Man, how's it going? Yeah, you still got to apply for regulations to launch into airspace, so you don't collide with satellites. Is it illegal to build your own rocket? Oh, here's that. So I'll just post that here. That first one off the solar system, how it's actually going through space. Now the extra video is well, actually you're not actually allowed to cameras in space either. But you can't sort of launch a rocket into space with a smartphone and actually start recording everything. They won't allow it. For security reasons, taking pictures of other satellites, space station, aiming down at the Earth. So yeah, there's all sorts of paperwork and regulations. You have to get approval, which makes you wonder why Elon Musk didn't have a camera up there when he did his launches, because you'd think he'd want his own cameras up there to bring HD of everything that was going on. So I had the ring of cover up there, you know, because of the lack of cameras. He had on-board camera on the spacecraft, but it could only, it was even censored as well, I think. Some angles of views in space were cut out. Anyway, I'll just close that one down.
Yeah, actually, I just looked it up for you, and it says that you must get the permit from the FAA in order to launch into space. Then, of course, more hoops to jump through after that. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Laws and regulations, National Association of.
Yeah, you always got to do your research and paperwork.
Yeah.
So this is a good emanation here, but he's got a lot of music. The music's actually quite good in the video, but I can't play it because of copyright. And I'll just play it down a wee bit slower, but I'll give the guy a plug because it's a really good emanation he's got here. I don't know if he did it himself, but solar system, how it actually works in 3D space. So you wonder, when you look at this, you wonder how they can aim a radio telescope 55 million light years away, or whatever it is, and be able to build up a picture that they can claim is accurate. Also, it shows you how vulnerable we are in space, because we're spinning around this 3D space. You can see how any object can come towards us and just wipe us out. And you can see how the dinosaurs might have got wiped out. So I'll just play this. Planets rotating on the sun. So here we go. Can't play the music. The music is pretty good, isn't it, though? So this one's a better diagram. As you can see, it's got all the planets here. Saturn, you can see Saturn's ring. Is not only boring, but also incorrect. Our solar system moves through space at 70,000 kilometers per hour. So to me, it looks like it's a video from somewhere else, but he's got Spanish or something written down here.
Yeah, Spanish, correct.
So not sure if he got it from somewhere else, but here we go. This is what it actually looks like. There's the sun. It's moving. It's creating a trail of energy.
That's a great animation.
Okay, this is how we're living. Obviously, we're not feeling all that movement, and of course, we're not spinning around the sun that fast. But gives you an idea we're moving all the time, and so is the sun. And you're going to get a stream of particles coming off the sun as it moves through space as well. Energy particles.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing that our planet hasn't had more, catastrophic collisions than it has. I mean, look at that.
Yep. That's just
could run into anything.
That's just one of billions of solar systems out there that we know about. So now they're saying that we're aiming our telescopes at a single point. And it also gives an idea of why there might be, time slips. Well, they call it time slips, but really it could be bending of space. Although I don't believe in space-time, I believe that space probably has some way of being compressed. Maybe not bending. Bending is probably the wrong term. But I believe there's also a layer of energy field that feeds all atoms energy, as well as atoms are releasing energy all the time to keep the balance or equilibrium. And that's part of nuclear reaction as well, where they're unstable. But yeah, that's just a great animation. It's something like you'd see on a sci-fi movie, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really well done.
Yeah. Why is it important?
Cool.
So, but you can see that it had like this spiral pattern,
right,
moving forward in time. So time's not going backwards. So this is where my mate talks about fractal energy density theory. But he's given up on the project because he got attacked so much over it that he's sort of given up his idea of writing a book about it all and putting out all
Joseph.
Yeah. Hey,
Sorry,
A51, how come you're not in the voice chat? You want to have a say on this stuff, probably. The black hole, come in the voice chat and have a chat about it.
Yes, please.
Now, I posted this one yesterday, well, just before bed, actually. And Joseph, A51, he made a comment on Twitter about it. But I haven't had time to read the comments on Twitter because I was running a bit late for the live stream. So I'm not too sure what has been said since. So yeah, still going. So he reckons the emanations by this guy here, DJ Sunhu. Is that maybe an Indian? Obviously someone that's got a lot of time on their hands did a really good job there. So I'm surprised A51 hasn't got something like that happening, but actually adding in all those Soho images so you can do it in 3D as well, because that would be looking cool. You should use this idea, A51, and add in your own ones and do animation like this, because that's really brilliant. halfpasthuman.com. So yeah, I'm not too sure if this guy is the legit guy, but he's got a picture here. So well done there. Everyone was impressed with that, and hopefully you'll get some extra views. He's got 20,000, but I'm not too sure what other stuff he's done there. We could have a look, I guess. But yeah, he might be one of these crazy people that are trying to do me up for copyright instead of just going with the flow. He likes his music, so hopefully that's from the free music archive or Google's free music. Space between thoughts. So he's got some other stuff here. Might be worth having a look at. Maybe it's some artistic stuff, 3D stuff. VX breakdown. So obviously, is that done in Blender? Maybe. Joseph A51 would know.
Yep, I'm trying to pull him in.
No, what's he saying down the side there? Anyway, this is related to the black hole stuff. Anyway, so
Right.
Everyone just thinks of the old what they get taught in school. Now, when you see the emanation, that sort of blows your mind. That sort of thinks, they don't make that really clear how they're aiming the telescopes in one direction while we're spinning around and moving forward in space like that all the time. Well, now because we're sort of gravity locked to our sun, we can sort of focus on that part of it. That we can focus on the solar system. And this is why the planets move in the sky, obviously. Not because they're moving around two-dimensionally and around in circles, but also three-dimensionally. So I'm not too much of an expert on that, but as you see, I can find bits and pieces that other people have done and understand what they're talking about. And A51, he's probably the more expert on that. And he should be coming in here and talking about it.
I agree. Come on in, Joseph.
Quarks are your subclass of atoms. Well, that's only modern science again. If you think of all particles being energy, right, and you cut an atom down into quarks, that's just another name of saying that it's got sub-energy, 4 different classes of sub-energy that builds up that one particle of energy, because matter equals energy. Energy can make matter, as you know. The sun creates heavy elements, so they reckon, but we don't know for sure, and die and explode the elements back into space, which then attract each other through gravity and form planets, and that's the way we're taught. But all of it's still only guesswork and theory, and they base it on mathematical models, which obviously don't have to be real world, because they talk about string theory and all multi-dimensions, 11 multi-dimensions, and multiverses, and all these crazy ideas out there. And they try and figure experiments where they can prove it all correct. So yeah, I'm sure alien scientist, that guy, he's into all that sort of stuff too. But the problem I find is when you go to university, they can get you to conform, like you're parroting what they teach you in class, rather than question stuff that's been which they class has been confirmed and concluded as being factual. But there are equations used in science and electricity and electronics that are frigged. You've probably heard of the right-hand rule and all that sort of stuff. Now, this is why I wanted to get my mate on, because he's done all that. He's done the qualifications, and he's found the problems while he was learning what they were doing and frigging the equations. And he's the one that was doing the universe theory, but he won't come on social media because he's paranoid about the government and all this sort of stuff. and
Wow.
because he's been raided 5 times in the last 2 years by cops, because he's got satellite dishes in his backyard. Not just one satellite, but he's like Pine Gap, and he's got a mate. He's got a mate that's got a mental handicap of some sort, but he's like a savant in the way of mucking around with video decoding and all that sort of stuff. So he's like an expert on that particular side of things. So he sets up all these antennas, and he just benefits what he does from the signals that he picks up and stuff like that. So yeah, they sort of got like many TV stations from all around the world, and they don't have to suffer the mainstream nonsense and lies, because they're getting all the feeds from all around the world where they're getting the true facts all coming into their house. So yeah, he's pretty out there anyway, this guy, and he's pretty clever, and someone that you don't want to sort of mess around with. Someone's calling me on Discord. Who's doing that? No, that's Hangout, isn't it? No, that's Hangout. So who's calling me?
That's Hangouts.
Is that Robert again? Let me just check. Who's calling me? Oh no, it's Vin. He's doing a live session now. Go to it, Vin. I forgot I had that running in the background. I have it in tab when I open up. I thought it might have been Robert trying to join us. That's all right. So yeah, A51, where you gone? Anyway, we'll move on then. You had your chance.
He's still around. I see him on Discord. He's green. Aha! There he is.
All right. Well, I just closed down the wrong tab now. I have to go back to it. Here we go. So is he going to come on and talk about stuff or what?
I don't know. He just put a link in the live text link thing.
Right. So we'll just carry on then. We'll just go through this because we won't get to the MUFON stuff otherwise. There's always plenty to talk about. So let's move on to this one. So I'm in the mindset now that I've had to undo the brainwashing, because I used to only watch TV, and I could see how brainwashed I was. And it takes years of undoing all that to realize that you got to question everything that you're being fed in life, and that includes news channels. And so, as you know, UFO channels are meant to be news channels for what's been recorded and put up. And Fox News is another one that puts up a lot of these fake videos, viral videos, and it's meant to be claiming to be a legit news channel. So when they do that, they sort of ruin their own reputation. And recently they had Corbell and Bob Lazar on, and we all know about Bob Lazar. This like then. Okay, that's because he's created a new group here, and I haven't muted it. So here we go. Mutilations and notifications off. And you know, if you're a fan of alien scientists, what he thinks of Corbell and Bob Lazar as well. So there's a few of us in the same mindset, the same group of people that are questioning everything that we're being told and fed by the corporate UFO media out there, namely Open Minds and Ryan Sprague is another one that's into that. You know, he's on the TV now. So,
what isn't he into?
Anything to make money. He wants to be the next Giorgio from Ancient Aliens, and I think one of those is enough in the world. Well, anyway, Secureteam, the mystery. You see how good he uses clickbait and titles here to get people to click and watch. Seattle Mystery, watch snapped 26 power poles. So that's a trending topic, of course. That's why he went with it. It means you get a lot more views than normal. But for a big channel of 2.1 million subs, he's only got 270,000 views. So it's better than what I get, though. But that still equates to $1,000 there to him. But the thing is, he's not getting that all the time, every day now. So he's going to feel the pinch if he hasn't been saving up. But the thing is, why would he have 2.1 million subs, right? And only 300,000 maximum watch worldwide. Some of those are not going to be subscribers as well. So you'll be getting some through other searches that are not members. Not knowing it's his video, because they would read the title and think it's a news channel and just click and away it starts playing, right? So
Yeah.
did he buy all those subs? Did he use a what do you call a click banner farm or whatever it is, sub farm, where you can pay. You remember that thing called Angry Truth Seeker, where he deleted the video, but he flashed up what looked like millions of hits coming from Russia. Straight away, that had me suspect that he was buying clicks from Eastern. From an Eastern company there. So has he been fooling you all along? And really, he's only got 50,000 subs in truth that are hardcore. The hardcore ones are on his Patreon. If you go to his Patreon, right, he's probably got it listed. Where is it? My left eye's a bit blurry. Patreon, is it here? Or is he not including it now?
Oh, what's in there? Is there consider becoming a monthly supporter to get awesome.
Consider becoming a monthly supporter. That must be it there. Yep. My eyes are not really good, unfortunately. So at the moment.
Okay.
I have got an eye test coming up on the 18th. I think that's on a Friday, is it? So it might ruin one of my live streams again. So there you go. He's got 1,735 hardcore fans there. They're willing to part with their hard-earned cash to keep him on live. Well, keep him live on YouTube, not actually do lives, because that's too much work doing live presentations. Because you've got to do it unscripted, and all his stuff is scripted.
Yep.
Probably retake after retake to make sure he gets the right word in as well. And
absolutely.
So he almost had 2,500 subs. I mean, supporters there. I've got 3, but that's not the point. That just shows you that's really is hardcore base there. You'd expect that to be like 100,000 supporters paying a couple of bucks each or whatever. He'd be creaming and he'd be a millionaire, every 3 months. So yeah, a lot of big channels out there have like 5,000, 3,000, 5,000, even lot less subscribers than him, and they're making between $3,000 and $10,000 a month from their Patreons. So yeah. So let's carry on with this video here, and we'll analyze it together and see what you think. Let's see. I will just skip past the opening, so it doesn't play the music. Is it going to the right speaker? Yes.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. If you haven't seen my video I posted last night, I'll put a link down below. Be sure to check it out. And today, I want to show you guys some things that I can't really explain. Things as well that may or may not, I should say, have anything to do with UFOs, but just a really strange occurrence that just happened in Seattle. But first, real quick, we have some breaking news regarding the black hole that was recently discovered, which is what my entire last video was about. If you haven't seen that, well, for the first time ever, we have an image of an actual black hole captured sitting in the middle of a galaxy. And while the breaking news today, it would seem that there may be another origin, the true origin of the black hole, it would appear. is actually coming from the tip of Snoop Dogg's blunt.
Yeah, so even though it's funny, it could be just a big April Fool's joke on the science community, because look how similar that looks. You can see here
It's funny you didn't notice that. That's hysterical.
And that's just so
Cigar.
so close. It ain't funny, right? So is it an April Fool's joke done by these scientists just to see if anyone picks up on it? Yeah, it even looks like something in the background there. I could just see a whole group of MIT students that are working for NASA or whatever it is that produced the code. Thought, oh, let's just give them something and see if we can fool the world. So yeah, that's quite a good one. Let's carry on.
That's a great example.
That's a joke, but someone sent me this on Twitter, and I just found it so hilarious that I had to share it with you guys. And so, yeah, this may be the true source of the new imagery of the black hole that's been hitting the web over the past couple of days. And I have to say, the funny thing is I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually where it came from. So now let's get into some mysterious
even you see Secureteam even added his comment there that he wouldn't be surprised. So here's this first one coming up here. I'll let it play and then I'll ask you what you think.
Videos, some UFO sightings, things of that nature. The first of which was of this really strange, elongated shadow that was recorded being cast down on top of the cloud cover above Townsend, Massachusetts.
He's got kidding.
Okay, does that thrill you putting up rubbish like that?
Contrail comes to mind.
Yeah, but he's saying it's a shadow, right?
Do you see that? Schmuck.
Now, is it above or below the cloud? It's a bit hard to tell, but I'd say that's probably just below the cloud level, because we had a similar one a couple months ago. Remember that one? Dark contrail underneath the clouds. Actually, it was like it looked like a meteorite coming down, didn't it?
Right.
Contrail. Remember that one we done Scott Brando? So let's see if we can find it again. We can do a search here. I'll try that first, and then if it don't work, we'll try Google directly. Oh, there's that soon. Hopefully it's working all right. It's better now. It's not drifting off. Contrail. So we've got to put his tag in, which is UFO interest something. UFO interest without anything on it. So the search is not really friendly, really. You still have to know what you're doing. I think that was it. It's got .org on the end as well. Contrail. I should have found something. So what am I doing wrong?
Is it .org throwing it?
I tried both ways just in case. Contrail, that's spelled right. No.
Yes.
Why won't go back? The click wasn't working for some reason on the. Well, let's see. Should be just that. I think it's correct.
UFO of interest. It's not UFO interest, it's UFO of interest.
I thought that's what I typed though.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll just type
sorry.
it. Maybe I did do it wrong. Let's just type it on. That's what I mean. They just don't make it easy. It should be like it should be a tick. Search current Twitter account, or untick if you want to search everybody. They just don't make the systems better, you know. Of interest. Did I miss off the off? Maybe I probably did. My brain's still kicking in. Here we go. I must have missed off. So here's some contrails that he's posted over the past. So let's see if we can find the one we're after. So there's a dark contrail straight away of a plane that looks like it's going to head towards the ground, which is actually because you're aiming the camera up in the sky and it's heading off towards the horizon. It looks like it's coming down. So there's one straight away at sunset by looks of it, or sunrise. And you see there's a cloud layer above that plane there. So my CPU's clicking out a bit. I'll just get rid of that soon. Let's see if we can find this other one. So there's another dark contrail. Is that the same as what we looked at before? No, but zoomed in. Oh, here's the one I was thinking of. See how that's below the cloud layer here? So I'll just zoom in.
Oh, sure.
Remember this one? And this one actually is casting a shadow on the above cloud by looks of it. Well, it just looks like it is. You can see that's probably one of the best contrails I've seen actually. But because it was clipped, the original video was clipped, it looked like it was a comet coming down when actually it's just, here it is, the actual plane that made it all. So that's where it was beginning there, wasn't it? It was going this direction. Just shows how optical illusion that actually looks like it's coming down. So yeah, how similar is that to the one we're watching now? Except for it's not as nice. It's a darker, stormy day, and it doesn't look as cool. And here's the plane that's making it. It starts off really small and just expands, you see, and then the sunlight catches it because it's water vapor. And it acts like a prism. So there's probably a whole heap out there doing the same thing. Another one here. In fact, some of these might be even transformer explosions. They have them over there in America where they explode. They get by lightning.
Oh, yes.
Create smoke rings and all sorts of things and leave like a dirty thing up in the air. This is the one that happened in Australia, I think it was. A sunlit contrail. The little plane at the front is only going to be like 1 pixel big, but it just shows how big the contrails expand. And another one here. Whoa, that's loud.
Yeah.
You can see someone was filming another plane coming down from 30,000 feet to the airport. And of course that happens because you got inversion levels where you get layers of hot and cold air, and jet engines are hot and it vaporizes ice crystals and creates vapor trails. So there you go. And so on, so on, so on. How many have we had these over the years? And of course the famous one down in Chilean Navy, UFO given a contrail, turned out to be a passenger jet when they looked at the proper radar information. Of course, that was a panel of experts that didn't even pick up on that information. It wasn't until they released it to the internet for people like myself to investigate it that someone picked up, hang on, you're only looking at the radar data of the planes, the jet fighters, and not actually the radar from the tower. And of course there's a cool ID and all that sort of stuff that they matched up, and so you said the whole UFO case. And how many UFO documentaries on TV has that been put on saying this is a legit UFO sighting? And Joss Gates, I think, used it as well, and some guy was trying to prove it wasn't a balloon or someone releasing flares from a balloon and stuff like this. And I thought, what the hell? It's been debunked already. Why are you putting this rubbish up? You know, and so on, so on.
Well, they count on people having very short memories, and as a rule of thumb, they're right.
Yeah. So what do we got here?
Oh.
MUFON case. So yeah, there's that one again. So they actually submitted it to MUFON. Unbelievable. You can see it's a plain contrail.
Thank you. That shouldn't even require critical thinking.
What was I talking about? Mainstream news being a wee bit fake, especially Fox News with UFO cases. This guy should know better.
Is that Sean Hannity?
I think it might be Tucker, is it? I don't know. Is that Tucker?
Look, Tucker. Yeah, Tucker Carlson.
I don't know. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, Tucker Carlson. Yep, there you go, up there. There's a shocking UFO, Tucker Carlson. I hope he's learnt from UFO interest here and paid attention. But you've got to remember, these guys are only after the buck. They're only after brainwashing people, feeding them what they want. Now, it's not to pick on Fox only. All of them out there are really, really bad. And soon you turn off the TV news, the better you'll be in life. And stop being fed propaganda nonsense all the time. And just think for yourself, and you'll be better off. Now, YouTube, as you know, are trying to destroy creators for alternative media, alternative people that haven't had their minds controlled, because it's all a part of the big end game. You know, and they're trying to control us and what we present and what information we provide to people, where we can get them to think for themselves and question what's being presented to them. You know, they put up the stuff on gun control, and they don't actually use official stats. They make all these claims, and then when you look at the official stats from FBI or whatever, you see it's all bunk. That how many shootings are done by so and so and all this. That is a gun problem. Same in New Zealand, all went that way too. Rushed in the new gun law. Probably shouldn't talk about that, but it's one thing that peed me off, and of course a lot of flyers as well, because now they can't go rabbit shooting because they've rushed in a new law. So, but yeah, I looked into my own stats on that and things published by official sources, and I found only 20% of murders in the last 12 years were done by guns. And to me, that's not a gun problem. That's a mental problem. Anyway, move on. Back to Tyler.
Look at that line. Stop.
All right, so as you guys can see, whatever this is, whatever the shadow is, and whatever is casting it, it stretches all the way to the horizon, above the clouds, as if, and this is just what it looks like, something is sitting above the cloud cover, then casting a shadow down on top of the clouds with the sun behind it, and I just can't explain it. Either that, or something has just cut a perfectly straight line through the cloud cover, as if something was moving.
Does that look like it's been cut, guys? Does that look like it's above the clouds? After looking at these other contrails, right? You can see, obviously, it's not above the clouds. He's trying to say it's like a meteorite or some UFO crashing above the cloud layer. You can see the words
mucked around with the contrast too.
Yeah, and this is also brainwashing. He's telling you what he's saying here, which is he's changing facts and muddying the water all the time. He's not doing a comparison like I just did. I can say this is a UFO coming down, and not give you any evidence why I think it's that. But I try and do a side-by-side comparison. You just saw the last contrail that I looked at, and you can see the plane obviously making it. In this case, the plane's probably way over here at a distance, and you're not going to see it. So he should know what it is. He knows it's a contrail done by a plane. But people, like you said, have short memories.
He probably took the video in his backyard
with his P1000.
with his P1000.
Well, he could have done. Yeah, he could have done. But I think I heard people there talking. So let's just carry on.
With the sun behind it, and I just can't explain it. Either that or something has just cut a perfectly straight line through the cloud cover as if something was moving through it. But to me, it looks like a shadow in certain shots. But nonetheless, still strange. The guy who shot it thought it was very strange.
So there's the sun there. So obviously the contrail has got broken up there. But it still looks to me like the sun's behind this contrail here, and the sun's behind the cloud layer. So how he's saying it's parting the clouds doesn't make any sense. Does it look like a parting? Yeah, look. Looks like maybe even the contrail's got broken up there from a wind gust. It's gone around here and gone around this way. So it's got moved with the wind gust. You know, it's sort of gone sort of nice straight. It's sort of moving now. But yeah, it's not a break in the clouds at all. You can see that. It's just optical illusion again. And it just annoys me. I don't know if it annoys you, this sort of stuff being presented.
Oh, yeah.
And well, I will post the link to it down below, and you guys tell me what you think. Next, we have a UFO sighting of a triangular object seen in the night skies above San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, we've been through triangle lights in the sky before, and I've always made that quote: what's three lights in the sky going to form? It's going to form either various shapes of triangles, straight line, or full stop, or just a single dot if they line up all perfect. So that's the only shapes you can get. So triangles are the most obvious ones. So let's keep on watching. Remember the clues about lights in the sky, drone lights, sky lantern lights. What's the clues there? Flickering, going out, random order. They don't burn more than how many minutes was it? 15 minutes. I think I looked it up on a previous live. 11 minutes to 15 minutes. Then flares as well, flicker. You don't always see the smoke, depending how far away they are and how high they're being dropped. They also flicker, and they also don't last longer than 20 minutes. And what's other light sources? Planets is another one. What else? Fireworks. Not really that much causes lights in the sky. Planes, and of course UFOs, if they exist, or if they're real, and fly around at night time. Of course, we know they are real because there are some credible cases out there, but 90% of them, or 95% of them, what we're seeing online, are explainable and not really mysterious. It's like if we saw these lights that we're going to see next, right, and if they simply stopped and shot downwards, then shots upwards, and then left and right, and did some crazy stuff, or just a vortex opened up and one goes into it and another one goes into it, then we might be suspect that if it's real or CGI. So, you know, you've always got to keep in mind that it could be CGI too. So we'll just carry on.
What the fuck? That's a fucking UFO.
He's trying to mute the swearing.
Okay, what is it? It's fucking hovering. Okay.
I'm freaking out.
Oh, that's a UFO. Okay, what is it? It's hovering in the sky and one of the lights disappeared.
Okay, so triangular formation of lights, multiple opinions in the video as to what it could be. The female definitely seems to think this is a legit unidentified object. The male voice at one point says it could be helicopters, although I don't hear any sound, and I don't think anyone else who is there heard any sound. You can hear a distinct sound of a helicopter or helicopters passing by, even in the distance. And there doesn't seem to be any other flashing lights. And at one point, it just sits and hovers in the sky. Triangular lights or formations of triangular lights are very common, with many people believing these are craft from off-world or sightings of the infamous TR-3B or Black Manta, which is said to be a very secret government craft that was developed in the late 80s.
I can't believe I swallowed Kool-Aid with that son of a gun.
Okay, so a real triangle craft, the lights don't blink out one after the other in order, do they? They just simply fly off gently across the sky or zoom off very quick, or vanish completely all at the same time. So this one you can see here, the leading one goes out first, then the middle one, and then we don't see what happens to the last one, but I bet that one goes out as well. And you can see that it was
cut the video right before it went out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you see it was flickering. So to me, if it was a plane, it would have to be coming this way. I'm not sure if my cursor's in the right place, but the small dot here is the first one. It would have to be coming this way, dropping the flares, and going out this way, right?
Right.
Because the last flare is always the first one to go out, and that would be the next one to go out, the next one to go out. So it could have been a plane dropping flares going this way from a distance. Or the other possibility is it's just simply Chinese lanterns, because they often form the triangle patterns, the Chinese ones, because we've done plenty of those in previous lives. And you can see here the shape of the triangle was also changing as the lights were moving as well. So I don't think we'd want to waste too much time on this one. All we can say about that one is it's got to be two things, either flares or light lanterns. And there'll be lanterns drifting in the air current. If the air current's going this way, because we've got no idea which way the air current was that night, because no one does any tests. After filming UFOs, you say, well, this is the direction of the wind. You drop a lever in front of the camera and say, well, that's why the way the wind's blowing at sea level or whatever. It may change further higher up. Then you got to go and investigate that bit further with the weather forecast system. Find out, because they will have things at various heights on buildings, on high rises, probably somewhere where they know the air current direction at different levels. But you can see they're not very high up.
Just call the airport, they'll tell you.
Yeah, they got on the towers at the top and at the bottom, various heights. We do. That's where New Zealand gets a lot of its main weather forecast from, is from the international airport. Trustable source. That's always operational, obviously, and they maintain their equipment. You do get amateur ones from high schools and whatnot around the place, and universities, of course. So we just keep on playing.
And that uses anti-gravity technology that is in turn possibly reverse engineered from alien technology. This again could be several objects sitting in formation. We just don't know, but very interesting sighting. San Antonio, Texas. Tell me what you guys think of this.
Now, Texas, there's another clue there. They do have a lot of places that release sky lanterns for weddings. And they do have a lot of Air Force bases there and do a lot of testing with military planes in the sky dropping flares as well. So it may be like a pilot doing some training at night time where he's allowed to drop a couple of flares just to get the feel of it. So that's as much as we can do without having all the full facts here. And of course, this probably wasn't a MUFON case. It was probably uploaded to someone's YouTube channel, and looks like it. I'm surprised that's not Texas UFOs. The Lady Jane, whatever her name is, that might put that one up. Who knows? But we'd have to look at these links here. You notice he's now using these short links to see how many people click through to it, instead of just putting the YouTube channel. that means he can take down those links anytime he wants, rather than having to edit all the videos. If he's got a link everywhere, or anyone that scrapes it, he can simply just take it down, and they don't get any publicity from it. So doing that way, he's got full control, you know.
Right.
If he gets any problem with any of his supporters out there that feed him videos, very clever, you know, short URL. So we'll just carry on.
Yep.
Now, speaking of strange lights in the sky, here we have yet another capture of not necessarily an object, or, well, maybe it is. Maybe this is coming from an object of some sort, but another one of these massive glows seen emanating from the clouds, lighting up the night skies above Michigan. Now, as I said, and if you've been following the channel, you'll know that these things, again, are very common. They're very mysterious. It's one of the things I really can't explain. I can't even begin to come up with a theory as to what could be causing them. Sometimes
he can't even explain. So that's why you do some research, mate. And of course, I spent 10 minutes doing this before the live show a couple of days ago. And then I posted the link here. Okay, so here we go. Michigan, Maine. Might catch a glimpse of the northern lights tonight. And of course, that was back in February. And if I scroll down, you'll see the picture that we're looking at. It looks very similar to his purple sky. There we go, the purple sky. And of course, that's going to flicker and whatnot. And of course, you don't always get all the colors of the spectrum there of green, blue, yellow, purple.
Right.
And of course, the Aurora Borealis celestial show, usually reserved for spectators near the Arctic Circle, could potentially appear over parts of the continent of USA on the night of February the 15th. Of course, if it happens on one night of a year, you can bet it happens randomly throughout the months as well.
Sure.
Of course, we know that NASA was also doing these experiments where they triggered that sort of effect as well with the purple lights. So I'm not too sure if they did one over Michigan, but I was hoping some other researchers out there, after I posted it on Twitter, may have joined in, which they never do. May have said, "Oh, right, we've actually pinned it down to that particular day."
Right.
But what I'm pointing out here is you can do a simple search, and you can sort of get an idea of what causes lights in the sky, especially purple. Now, it doesn't mean it's this, but it's one explanation, of course. And we'll just go back to it and watch it and see if we can get any more clues. I'm not sure if we see any greens or not.
Sometimes these massive glowing lights are seen very low in the sky. Other times they've been recorded 30,000 feet up from planes who are actually flying above or next to these glowing lights. That at times,
so he's talking about pilots. He's talking about pilots seeing them, which you'd expect them to see it, wouldn't you?
In fact, don't seem to be emanating from a certain or just one object. It's almost like the lights or the glowing is coming from nowhere, or at least no object can be seen where it would be emanating
from a solar storm.
From in many cases. So a really strange, massive purple light in the Michigan skies.
I could just see this guy back 2,000 years ago. His name would be called Jesus, and he'd be walking around the desert in jandals and looking up to the sky. Oh, that's God. And come and join my cult. I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you all about it. Anyway, carry on.
If you guys can get any video or images or see something similar, be sure to send it in. My email is down below. And lastly today,
yes, he wants quick, easy videos that he can put up and say he doesn't know anything about it and get some click views so he can make that $1,000 a day off your hard work. Okay, on to the next one.
Hey, speaking of this strange occurrence that happened in Seattle, that may or may not have to do with anything paranormal, but still, really strange story. After 26 power poles or power lines mysteriously and suddenly break and just topple trapping
God.
cars underneath and more.
Okay, he said brakes. That's wrong. They just toppled over. They didn't snap in half. But we'll just carry on.
Onlookers totally shocked at what they were seeing. So here's the news report from the Seattle Times here. It says, quote, more than 24 power poles that collapsed near the Museum of Flight on Friday underwent a full inspection 3 years ago and showed no signs or risks of mass failure. The electric company has no explanation about how the 26 wooden power poles that suddenly snapped out of nowhere were toppled at around 4 p.m. Friday. It was actually caught on video as well, causing this.
Okay, so it was a cascade. So if we go back to some Google searches, I said put in the place name and the polls and see if any experts out there, especially weather experts, because you can see it was a rainy day there. Whether there was any what they call microbursts of wind, which can occur in a very narrow band of air, can move through like a tornado and knock down stuff like that. You're seeing what they do to trees. A pole that's a lot of these poles are not actually buried very deep. They're in like a meter of soil in a sort of in a concrete thing, so the soil can actually get too wet, too moist underground for some reason, and make it really unstable, especially if you get a strong enough wind. And of course, if one goes down, it's like a domino effect. The rest of them get pulled down too, and that's basically what happened here. So what? Maybe an update or just before April 26th. What time did he say it was? But anyway, it doesn't really matter.
South Seattle.
So something extraordinary happened Friday night, 4 p.m. And you can see here that big pole there toppled down from over this side, right? It's not snapped in half at all. It's just sort of given way on the ground. So this guy's actually done some investigation. The map below shows the location of the museum and fallen power lines. Keep the exact location in your mind. There you go. So what happened yesterday afternoon? Why a catastrophic failure of 24 poles in a row? Well, let's do the meteorological detective work. A well-defined front was moving through the region. Here we go. Here's the map, which is clear from the weather satellite image. Rain and blustery winds were in the forecast. Okay, there's the location down here, wasn't it? Embedded within the front, there was a narrow band. Oh, yeah, it sounds like me, what I just said. A line of cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus was with heavy rain and which were accelerated. I could get Mr. Mick West to read it out for us, I guess. To illustrate this, here are two radar images from the National Weather Service Commando Island radar. Probably that's not how you say it either. Just before 4 p.m. Bango, bango. So this guy's talking about these fronts here, I guess. So this guy obviously knows a bit about weather, right? And of course, all the news channels were saying, oh, we still don't know 2 days after. Well, it had caused this. Obviously, this guy has done a bit of detective work. There is an extremely good weather observation location at north side of Bowenfield, about 1.5 miles from the incident. Observations that indicate the heavy rain from the line and wind gust to 29 knots, which is 33 miles per hour, were southerly. There is no weather observing sites immediately near the museum. So that's a key point there. They had no weather detection systems near that location. He's only using it from weather satellites and other locations. So he's talking about a narrow cold front band here. Spikes in pressure sharp spikes in pressure. I'll just sort of skim it. So the coincidence of passage of this band with the failure of the power pulse can hardly be an accident. There you go. This is an expert. There was one pole or several that were rotted or weakened. If failed in a moderate wind, it took down the adjacent lines. There we go. Also, if the ground's very soft, as well, is another explanation. The winds were stronger in the location of the museum of flight. So there you go. The key is winds at nearby sites don't seem strong enough to take down. So here's a naysayer.
Yeah, that was obviously a microburst.
But anyway, what's that got to do with UFOs? I don't know. But since it was like a 10-minute search by me, he obviously didn't search it. He just jumped onto the trend in the news at the time to get views, obviously.
The UFO ran into the power lines. That's why it came down.
Well, you'd expect to see a little blob of light flying around. Maybe it turned out to be a seagull or something. But anyway, I'll post the link there to this guy's debunk. If you want to read it and reshare it, go ahead. So I'll close that one down. Just make sure I got the right one. Close tab. And that one too, you want to read about strange lights in the sky. Well, that's one explanation that happens throughout the year, obviously. Strange lights.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see.
Now, I'm not too sure what else causes purple light.
Excuse me?
Yep, that's right. What can cause purple light in the night sky? They'll probably come up with the same thing, but we'll just type it in.
Sure. Yeah, when I saw them, it was green.
Right.
And they were kind of shipped between green and yellow, but it was predominantly green. It was very cool. Very, very cool.
Okay, so someone's asking the same question here. And look, what do we got here? Looks really cool. Looks like the sun going through sunset or something like that, sunrise. So what's he saying? The first person to correct work out the details of the process that gives rise to the colour of the sky was English Professor Lord James Riley, working in the late 1800s. So he's talking about the blue colour of the sky was as the scattering of light through water molecules, obviously, and some of the light passes through. But we're looking for the purple light. This is talking about light in general. Spectrum comes from continuum of wavelengths and frequencies going from red, long length and low frequency, to violet, short wavelength and high frequency. Electromagnetic waves are waves of electric and magnetic fields. These fields interact with the electrons in the molecules of the air, because that's really the Rolus. The Rolus borealis is also this. It's electrons, and then it causes the light to be emitted. Because the air molecules are much smaller, the wavelength of light, the interaction is much stronger for shorter wavelengths. So is there anyone else that? So
Rayleigh scattering, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's based on that guy that sort of brought it up.
Yeah.
Riley scattering.
Rayleigh scattering, yes.
Cleveland night sky, purple glow caused by greenhouse. There you go. They got some greenhouses in Cleveland. I thought that was only in Holland. But isn't Cleveland in America?
Cleveland, Ohio.
There we go. Eerie purple glow. So whereabouts is that? Is that near Michigan? Do they have these purple greenhouses as well? I don't know. There's another possibility there.
Don't know.
The real
Tyler happens to live in Ohio.
yeah. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so yep, there's another good article there. Just post that one down. Purple. But I've covered a lot of this before anyway. But it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to keep re-looking at it. So to drum it in.
Nope.
People will switch off though, unfortunately. What was the other link? We might just post that one up too. It gives you a rundown of Riley scattering. Years ago, you would have to go to a library and look all this stuff up, you know. And if you go through that page, obviously it's going to be a lot of similar answers. What have we got here? Fraser Valley. What's that? Australia? It's got Canada, so it must be Canada. What would make a sky appear purple? Planets. So I think we've pretty much covered that, really. Just move on. You can do your own research out there, people. I know it's tedious, but it works well. We're getting there. Close that one down. So I think we're done with Tyler telling us what it thinks it is. 6-lane road. 26 suddenly come down. Snapped them like toothpicks, which is incorrect again. We're only talking about a couple that were rotten and a soft soil. And they're only inspected.
And a
microburst, and they're inspected 3 years ago. You know, and things can change in 3 years. And you can see they're wooden. They're not actually concrete ones, are they?
Well, it's Washington State. It rains there all the time.
Okay, so we need Todd on here, don't we? He's from there, isn't he? Let's carry on. Oh no, he's on the other side. He's in the other Washington. There's 2 Washingtons in America, isn't there?
Yeah, he's in DC, I believe.
So I always get confused, you know. But we'll just move on to the next one. Now this one's absolutely ridiculous. I'll probably have to bring up UFO Interest again, who had great joy of exposing this one. But we'll just play a clip of it. Oh, just get past that. Okay, let's make sure the caps are on.
Something very interesting I want you guys to check out. Maybe you can give me some answers on it, because I'm not sure exactly what we are looking at here. This was sent to me by a couple of different people, and I said, well, of course, this is perfect material for Secureteam. So before we go any further, I'm going to show you this moon clip. Guy with this telescope or telescopic camera who is zooming up to the moon when...
So my question is, Tyler's got a P1000. Why is he not doing it?
Suddenly, right on the horizon line, right on the edge of the moon, we see what has been described as some sort of base or large machine or floating UFO that appears to be connected or floating just above the edge of the moon before finally disappearing behind it or down onto it. So check this out.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Now, to be fair here, if we're going to go through and sort of go through a tick box of things that could have caused this, One would be CGI. Two would be maybe some sort of meteorite impact that kicked up an explosion, and we're seeing the tail end of it maybe as the dust is coming back down. But would it hang around in space like that for ages? Would it even be able to kick up a lot of dust like that? And also, where's all the other videos and news reports about it? Is the other thing.
Thank you.
And what's the other third thing? You could say it was aliens.
A smoke ring from Snoop Dogg's cigar.
Could well be, or it could be obviously alien activity, which we have now to prove, which he's got to prove now. He's stated this claim, saying it's alien bases and all that sort of stuff. So he's got to actually back up his claim here, which ticks off the boxes. So let's just carry on, watch this bit of masterpiece. That music kind of makes me feel sleepy, actually. Why that's happening? Did that suddenly disappear there?
Okay, so here is the filtered version where I've raised the contrast, the brightness, brought down the color a little bit to give us a view of what it would look like if we were watching this footage at night and had it been recorded at night. And as you guys can see, as he's zooming in here, there's something obvious, an obvious structure of some sort sticking up, popping its little head up out of the side of the moon here on the north top corner. At the very beginning, the object seems to be totally separate from the moon, just sort of hovering there with this sort of spherical or donut shape to it. And within seconds of zooming in, you can see the object, which looks like it has some definite structure to it, some light, some shadowing. It looks like something, and something large. And within moments, the object seems to be going either behind the moon or down inside of it. I don't know.
All right.
But whatever it is, it's truly intriguing footage.
Tyler's awesome.
Truly intriguing.
Truly awesome. MUFON. Cask Chase. Yes, he's really awesome. So let's see how awesome this guy really is. And we'll go to UFO interest and let's see what he says about this particular video. And it saves me having to go over it. And whose face should come up 10 hours ago? It's Lion's Ground posting about this particular video as well. Secureteam debunked again 2019. Serial hoaxer. So it looks like Lion's Ground's doing a video on this. Okay. Let's see if we can find the video. I've probably posted a lot of stuff since. Oh, here it all comes. Okay, so let's just zoom in and have a read. Hey, Kate G. So obviously it's made the newspapers. What newspaper is that one? Let's see. Does it say in the header? I'm going to move my magnifier over. Daily Star. So has he got connections over Daily Star now, has he? That he's sending his videos to try and get the views? About your article at Daily Star, I'd like to inform you that the video is just a fake published in September in 2018, as I explained in my previous tweets. Could you update your article? So here's the video in question, words of Tyler that we just heard. So it looks like she got the source from him. As usual, the hoax promoter Secureteam shared the same fake video without having investigated, leaving his followers without any explanation. What a great researcher. Hey, that's what I say too. He's so great that he gives me lots of material to go over and to tell the truth on. So if we go down here, the original owner of the clip comes forward. As I said, the video was a fake stolen by Daniel Too Many from another YouTuber who confirmed it was just a CGI video. Here's the original footage published by H. Wood Scotty on September the 30th, 2018. And you can see it looks like a different angle or slightly more information here. So let's have a look at this. See what the extra footage is. And you can see he's posted quite a bit about this, and also about Julian Assange being arrested, and some newspaper, I don't know if they photoshopped this thing in, about Hillary adopts alien baby. So yeah, this is why you can't take these tabloids, especially when they start publishing stuff from Tyler, too seriously, because they know he's not serious researcher, and they can get away with it, you know. But they make lots of money from it, obviously. A lot of people look at it, and they can put a lot of ads in front of you.
That would
So
be correct.
let's start playing this clip here, and let's just have a quick look of the full clip in question. Oh, we got a full clip where they're zoomed back out. So I'd say the moon's correct, but the thing added in the background, look, it's on the opposite side. What's that tell you? That Tyler's one's been flipped to try and hide who owns it. So it's completely on the opposite side, and it's further zoomed out. So he's rotated it, or someone has that he's got it from, and flipped it, I mean, horizontally, and he's zoomed in as well. And he's got rid of the car noises in the background. And obviously the person that actually filmed it, the real person. So yeah, the original is quite boring there. So if you flip it and zoom it in, it looks a bit more interesting. Bang. Another one bites the dust. So yeah, if you keep going to Secureteam for real UFO videos and UFO news, don't expect to get it. Because everybody is getting sick of it, as you can see. And it just makes a whole mockery of the community that we are fond of. We actually are serious researchers here, and
Yes.
when we see this crap being put up all the time, it just makes a laughing stock of what some of the real genuine cases out there. There's very few of the real genuine cases out there, and we know To the Stars has some footage there and some eyewitness accounts that you can't sort of dismiss as being mistaken, like a craft being at sea level shooting up 20,000 feet. Obviously, I don't think you can mistake that being a balloon or something like that. You know, that's definitely something that's got extraordinary capabilities, which may go from that G-forces there. I don't think that would be a pilot in it. I'm not a human pilot, so it sort of rules out that being experimental plane. But it doesn't rule out. It doesn't rule out that it's actually not a drone, because as you know, we can remote control things now, and we can fly those at ridiculous speeds and not have anyone inside. So it still could be military. It still could be alien craft, but we've yet to see more evidence that can prove it either way. And whether it comes forward, we don't know. This is all about UFO disclosure. What they know. Really, they should be putting up everything they get to the world and letting world experts look at it and analyze it and work out who's behind it. Because is it the Russians, is it the Chinese, is it North Korea, or whatever, you know, or is it someone from outer space? So yeah. So I'm not too sure how much more of this video there is, but we'll just skim it because I haven't watched it before. And as you know, he puts in moon bases and these artifacts. Massive alien base. There we go. Looks like a rock there. I'm not too sure if that looks like an alien base to you there.
Oh, a massive one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's enormous.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a bit of chunky rock sticking up, like a mountain. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. If it was like, I don't know, if it had like rectangle shapes and it had doorways, and you could see there was obviously a debris-filled metal and all that sort of stuff that you'd expect to be on the moon anyway. You wouldn't expect to see glass structures, as Hoagland talks about. Who would build stuff out of glass structures knowing the moon gets struck occasionally by a meteorite? It's kind of crazy when you even put it together in logical common sense. And these ones we've been through. Choo-choo train, trust you to bring up the choo-choo train, trust them to reuse it again. Okay, so that's obviously artist rendering what a moon base would look like.
Right.
Okay. And what have we got here coming up? Just before there was something too, wasn't it? There it is. So we just can't quite get it.
Which have been documented through the thousands of photographs and images and video.
You can see it looks like a choo-choo train, a choo-choo train. Someone's just blurred it out and pasted it over the moon. Photoshop
feeds taken during the various missions to the moon, flying around the moon.
Okay, what's that one, John? Do you remember?
This is the guy that uses the telescope.
No.
Yeah, those are they're solar panels, aren't they, in space?
No.
On something?
No. This is the camera they used that leaked ink inside. NASA was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is the so-called castle that's meant to be suspended by this wire here, which is just a smear from the liquid that poured out onto the film when they took the picture in Zero G. So we'll just carry on. I was just testing your memory there if you were paying attention, because I've talked about it 3 or 4 times now. This one here, that looks like a dome. Right, so it's a low-res picture. It's actually just an optical illusion. As I talked about that on the moon, when you get another meteorite impact that crashes near a smaller one, molten rock forms. And of course, the material on the moon is very glass-like. It's like silica. It will form glass. It will flow into the smaller craters and cause a bubble. And so this could possibly be some of that material that's inside another smaller crater, and it's formed naturally. It doesn't have to be like people living in a glass dome city. So a lot of it is also optical illusion based on low res and light. And if you invert a crater around the other way, it actually looks like a dome. So if you inverted this around the other way, or got a higher res scan of it, you'll see that there's probably nothing there. It might be just like I'm saying, like it's like glassy stuff from a lava fill. It looks like there's a lot of impacts around this mound here where lava could be ejected and flow along the surface into there and cool off. We're talking about what happened millions of years ago. These are another ones where, again, we got meteorite impacts here. And of course, again, it's going to fill up with debris in the middle, where one impact near another impact, the debris is going to flow like a lava river, like a volcano, into the other one, and cause these nice little shaped blobs in the center of the craters. Now, I've gone through that on previous lives and shown some pictures and turned these things upside down and all sorts, and you can see how a crater, depending on the shadow and the angle of the sun, can actually look like domes as well. So there's 2 things they do here, and also high res of these. I got a clicking sound going in my ear. I think that might be my jawbone. Or is it you, John? Is it me or you? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of clicking sound. Is Discord working all right? It's not doing that crazy clicking sound, is it? Where it distorts the voice. It sounds like it turns you into a Dalek by any chance.
God, I hope not.
No, I hope so too. So yeah, we've seen high-risk scans of craters in previous lives where you can actually see debris inside that form like these peaks and also round bits inside the craters. So yeah, it's just natural. You think if you're going to build a moon base, right, you wouldn't build a dome inside a crater like that. You'd build the dome over the crater using the edge of the as a place to build from. You'd build the dome coming up on the edge of the crater rather than inside the crater. But
I would think so.
But the more logical reason, if you're going to build a moon base, you wouldn't build it on the surface, would you? You'd build it underground where it's protected. So if a meteorite does come down, if a meteorite does come down, you're protected. But the thing is, no one's actually dug under the moon to see what the moon's made of. It might actually be hollow. It might have a lot of caverns already underneath, or it might be just hollow. Like they did pick up by mistake when something crashed into the moon. They heard it echo from placed microphones on the moon and stuff.
Ring like a bell.
Ring like a bell. I think it was an accident, or was it actually an experiment? Well, they jettisoned some.
No, they deliberately did it. No, they deliberately.
Oh, they deliberately did it.
So they could do that.
It was a piece of space junk, so they thought they might use it for a science experiment. So is that what happened?
Yeah. I believe it was a Japanese thing. That, but they said it right.
I'm not too sure the full story on that, on the ringing bells side of stuff. I haven't actually done it. I don't think I've actually looked into it and researched it fully, but yeah, I only heard bits and pieces about it.
Right.
So there you go. I bet if we had a high res of that, there's not even a dome. It looks like a dome, but it's not. You'll see it'll be a pile of rocks. So that'll be a pile of rock there. That'll be a pile of rock there. Because the moon dust is very reflective and the sun comes up. You can see here it sort of has a pile of rock shape to it. So that's not going to be a dome. It's only an optical illusion. Some sort of crystal glass. So he's an expert. He's been up there and he's expected the crystal glass. Okay. So here I was saying that the images have obviously been flipped. And so on. So, and of course, we're going to these other BS moon-based ones and whatnot. This again, we're talking about camera artifacts. I can't remember if this one was a hair that was actually inside the lens, but there was a series of photographs taken in sequence that all had the same thing in different locations or in the same location or whatever. There's also a man in the moon, actual dark man. It looks like a stick figure. Hey Renee, how's it going? So yeah, Renee's been on the moon base one before. Of course, that's another one. That's another one we talked about there. Blah blah blah. We explained them all before. And here's another one that's a good optical illusion where you get something that's really bright next to a hole, but like that one we were looking at in Google Earth with the UFO.
Right.
That's going to be the same. It's going to be like a pile of dirt that's more reflective near a hole, and because it's low res, it's got what looks like a dark what do you call it, vehicle, a Batman symbol there. So yeah, it's just nonsense. There we go. It's actually drawn it so to explain it to you. So he's saying this is the shadow on the ground here of what that object above is. Yeah, come on. We're not even sure what location that is, I guess, so we can't just plug it into Google Earth and just go straight there and actually see what's there, like a hole in the ground and a mound of dirt. But you can bet we could debunk it quite easily.
Bright shadow. Look at shadows.
So that's Secureteam, hopefully fully debunked again. And has anyone actually said on the comments about these ones? Awesome video. People, you make me sad. Could the image be the moon and Jupiter conjunction? So some people got some thinking capabilities here. Looks like a mini moon. Too bad John Leonard Wilson didn't catch it on his moon space footage. Better be on mainstream media. Jesus, man, the thing is huge. Yes, I'm sure Fox News will put it up on their channel because they love CGI stuff. Is it the Tesla car? Okay, someone's got a sense of humor. Yes, I would have taken that video and had a Tesla car crashing into the moon, creating a balloon. That would be a really good, funny animation to do, actually. Hey, Taylor, have you ever heard, read, or specifically heard or read Neither Wear the book? Neither Wear? Did I actually read that right, or did it sound gibberish? How you ever heard, read, or specifically heard or read Never Wear the book?
What?
I'm sure I didn't read that wrong. I think he's saying that should be in quotes here. Never wear the book. Never wear the book. You could look it up on Google, I guess. Sounds like a conspiracy book to me. Isn't China still up there messing around? Yes. So some people are rationally thinking what it could be, which is good to see. But obviously a lot of them are not. And of course, we don't know how many messages are being deleted. All the negative. How many negative
There's
ones?
Joseph Yanis, though. Joseph got it.
Could be debris from an impact. Here this guy's thinking. So no one's talked about it being CGI. Okay, what was the other comments on the other one? I'm just interested to see if anyone actually told him. Then I might just quickly spend the last hour looking at those MUFON cases again. Those power lines never slowed. Someone took the black hole picture and sized it down to edit into a blunt. Definitely wind can do this, blend in a lot of poles. Well, they reckon that was a Photoshop one of the blunt scaled down, but I'm not too sure on that because I'm pretty sure you can find a lot of pictures similar to that where it creates the ring in the right color going around a circle. Unless you can find the original picture of him, unless there was an original picture of him with the cigarette, then you can prove it wasn't photoshopped. Snoop Dogg burning a black hole. On the power lines coming down, this happened back in '95 between Folsom and Rancho Cordova.
Rancho Cordova.
That's got to be what? Is that Spanish or Italian?
Spanish. Rancho Cordova. Yeah, Spanish.
Parallel. The winter was extremely wet winter. There you go. He's talking about water. Heavy rain. Saturated ground. There you go. So it's happened before. No mystery. Get enough wind and bang, they come down. Or snap. I live 75 miles south of Seattle. I have a feeling it's Mother Earth. Good one. So there are some people that have some common sense here. They haven't got deleted yet.
Right.
That's good to see. People are starting to think now, maybe. Secureteam, how do I send you pictures? I have an amazing picture of the line in front of the sun. I took it April 26th. The line being like another jet contrail, maybe. Anyway, moving on. I do like reading the comments though. They do give me the comments are more entertaining entertainment value to me than anything else. So just close that down. Now we're looking at these New Zealand MUFON cases. This is the next thing we're going to look at. Now this one here was that really good one off the night sky, and we could see that it was a car and a sea and a bushy beach, and there's a little squiggle of light that comes down here. I think it is that we amplified so we can see it better. There it is there, a little squiggle of light. So I was going to actually plug that location in to Plane Finder, and of course obviously I'm in the same time zone, so we don't have to work out all the time zone nonsense. So let's bring up Plane Finder and just see if there was any planes in the sky. Here's Plane Finder, flight tracker. So we're out in Sydney at the moment. So while that's loading up, it's using a bit of CPU. So what date we're looking at here? A few years ago, it might be just before the database actually started recording information. 2016. It could be just before the plane site was made. So let's see how far back we can go. The 7th of February. So we want to go down to New Zealand here. Yes, there's Tasmania. And here's New Zealand. My sister lives way down here. So there's 2 islands in New Zealand, and you can see the planes currently flying around between the islands and to and from New Zealand to the rest of the world, mostly Australia, of course. And you can see planes also flying down where the sighting was. You can see planes up and down here flying near the coast. There's obviously a flight. Unfortunately, it doesn't scale up the planes very much, does it? It was called Temuka. There's Oamaru. And Temuka is up here, see? So the planes are flying up and down out to sea there. So what we like to do, see there's one just coming in. So obviously it cut right through Temuka. What happened there? Okay, Temuka, I think it was. That one might be Invercargill. That might be the other one that was Temuka, was it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you do look at 2 different ones.
Oh, right. Temuka is the other one. A UFO sighting. Also 2014. So that's before this one might be too. The other one. This one's Invercargill, where I was talking down near the bottom. Whereabouts? Way down the bottom there. There's the tip of the South Island there, which goes out to not Tasmania, Stewart Island. So we go down here. We're looking down the bottom here. You can see a lot of planes flying around the coast. So it looks like it's down here. And there's Stewart Island. That looks like the little bit going down to Bluff. So was there any planes there? Let's find out, I suppose. So we need to do the playback function and type in the date. So we need to see how far this goes back. How do we get it going back?
Well, you've got some large protected bays there.
Yep. There is. They do a lot of oyster farms down there.
I bet.
Very yummy. Was it not going? Was it?
Smoked oysters.
Why can't I go back years here? Why is it not letting me go back a year? If they changed the database on us, mate, so we can only go back a month now without paying.
Oh wow, they did, didn't they?
Can you do it, or is it just me that's having problems?
Well, I don't know.
I can change. Oh, right here, the year number. You have to click on the year number now. Is it? No. What's going on here? So got up and down arrows. Why can't I change it?
I don't see anything.
What am I missing? Why can't I change it, Don?
I don't know. I don't see any drop downs or. Good question. I don't know.
I can't even click on February. Is it some sort of software glitch happening? Maybe because they're blocking some other script here. Suppose I'm gonna have to turn off ads, huh? Let's see. Turn that off, see what that loads up. We didn't have that problem before, folks. This person's always trying to get us. He wants our money. I can click it. But I can't seem to change it.
Well,
so what's going on? Is it a bug? We can change the date, but we can't seem to change month. Well, that's that stuff, doesn't it?
yeah, I don't think you're going anywhere.
That doesn't look like it. Unless I'm missing something.
Nope.
Have you brought it up
I'm
on
not
yours and seen if it does the same?
Yeah. No, I think it's just down. There's nowhere to go.
Well, you got Chrome there. Can you try it on Chrome? See if it's doing the same. I'm pushing up and down arrow. I'm not sure what other keys we can try. Well, that sort of ruins it when they do sneaky stuff like this. Looks like they limit it if it's free users to the month. See how it highlights there, all right? It changes color. So it's another tool taken away from us unless we pay, probably.
Yes.
Anyone else here that can test it? See if they can change the time. Is there some sort of key, like plus or minus?
Okay.
Let's see, what else can we look up here? Frequent answers. About. Oh well. How to ruin stuff for us.
Oh.
Where's the terms and services on this? How it works, global coverage. Yeah, scumbags.
Well, this is useless. Search my plan. Thank you, schmucks. God, what a rotten app.
It used to be good.
Yeah, I know. This is pretty crappy. Filters, bookmarks.
Have they said anywhere how they're limiting it? Of course, it's not the most accurate. There's a thing called Flight Radar 24, which is more accurate. They got a lot of more small private planes on theirs than this has. So what's the latest? Is there actually a news page on this? Where they've now reduced free use to only 7 days like the other competitor. So that means...
Yeah, see, I'm seeing the same thing you are in the Chrome browser. It's just
not working. Well, we're just going to have to look that up. So that sort of stuffs it up. So what is the pricing? They normally got a price in here. What's that say? Use cookies. What's that say? Normally it has a set thing. So what's Renee saying? No, right, nothing new.
nothing.
Commercial login. Homepage. No. Commercial apps. Flight tracker. Can't see anything about terms of use. That's what we normally use. Apps. Oh, it's free. It's free. No, it's not.
Yeah.
There you go. For the full tracking of on the go is a full suite of plane fighter apps. Doesn't say what it's limited to. So it looks like they were tracking since 2009 then. But I don't think how accurate it was when they first started, obviously. Plane fighter light. Doesn't say how far you can go back. 3D. So you can't change it to. Oh well, it was only going to be like a 5-minute check, wasn't it? So now.
Yeah. I mean, find your TV. Oh God.
Yeah. So last thing we need. How it works. Terms, legal terms and conditions. So live streams can't use it because they're promoting us all the time, how great we are. No, we're now going to ban using it. Cookies, who we are, how you may use material. We're not modifying or anything. You may print off copies, which people do. You must not use any part of the content on a site for commercial purposes without attaining license. Access or any part of the site in order to build a product or service. So we're not really doing any of that. We're using it for education. For fair use. And they're getting a lot of kickbacks because everyone in the UFO field would be using it now. So they'd be getting memberships out of it. So they're just being greedy and being stupid. Dumbass shits. Doesn't say how back they go back. No tick boxes. So it's like read. Don't do. Pay us. We want your money. And it's not going to be cheap, is it? So where's the price?
Yeah, I still haven't seen a price.
Where's the pricing, man?
Yeah, I haven't seen any pricing.
Privacy. Global coverage, how it works. We know how it works. Clicks the cool sign ID. That's the little box they have in planes. ADS-B receivers. and transmitters, of course. Oh well, that kicks it in the butt for debunking tool now. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see why I should pay money.
No.
So we might have to find another product out there that's free, because this always happens. They offer it free and then they clamp it down. Always happens. Doesn't matter if it's an email server. That's the end game, obviously.
Right. Now it looks like with this thing, you have to buy a specific, device to have on the plane anyway, just to be tracked. So
All right.
I'm confused on that.
Oh no, that's
That
where they're
doesn't make
collecting their
sense.
data from.
Ah,
Every plane has one of those boxes that transmits their call sign to the airports.
right.
So they just get the information from the airports. They don't get the radar data; they get the call sign. Obviously, as a publicly stored somewhere, and the airports use it, and they probably use the same. Yeah. I was just trying to get back to where I was before. Up there, was it? I was just trying to find the pricing. Yeah, log in. Create account. Name, password. Yeah, it looks like they're hiding the prices, aren't they? Create account first, and
I haven't
then
found it anywhere.
so they've really gone downhill. Yeah, we'll go back to there again.
Yeah, they want your personal information first, and then maybe they'll go ahead and give you the pricing on it.
Yeah.
So either way, they're going to get your data. Sneaky.
Yeah, there's no information there.
Nope.
What's the TV one? Is that so you can do it on TVs? Looks like it. I don't know. Apple TV. Yep, it is. Yep. Does the app allow to do it? I haven't got an app. Maybe you need to download the app onto your iPhone. Let's see if you've got the playback function. I'm not too sure. Is it just a glitch, or they really clamped down on it? Oh well, what I was going to do, I can't do, and we've lost half an hour on this already. I'm pretty sure I clicked on these arrows. They're not highlighted now.
No.
But there might be a way to frig it by putting it in the command line somehow. So
yeah, I bet you can only get to it if you buy the dang app package of some kind. I bet you.
Yeah. You could do it by hacking the site. That's what they call not allowed to reverse engineer it. You could find out how it works and calls and bypass the playback function, so you can put the date in.
But of course, you would never do that because that's illegal, right?
No. I'm an angel. I never hack.
That a boy.
Oh well. What are other flight trackers out there then? Let's do some investigation. Flight tracker free history. Maybe some new competitors that will come up. Flight aware. There's another one. Help us keep FlightAware free by allowing ads. Well, this is a problem with ads. So these people just overdo it, and they put ads right in your face, rather than just doing a single pop-up for a few seconds, where you can click and get and open it in a different tab, and they stick it all over the screen and just annoy the hell out of people. So let's have a look at FlightAware. Maybe we can use that. That's probably only going to be a table. It's probably not going to be real time or anything. Live. So it's looking at the history here. Live tracking. Here we go. Okay. It's not looking too bad. It's not as flashy. Has it got a playback function? Can't see a playback function there. This is what we're after. What's this one here?
Oh.
Looks like we might have to do some playing around. See what I can do.
Airport activity, all flights. Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington.
Yeah, I think that means current. We're looking for historic data.
Right.
It's called historic. So there's a lot of planes in the sky at the moment around New Zealand. What's this up here? So we'll just paste it down the side there. We're going to have to do some more investigation. Maybe it doesn't have historic data, which is a bummer. But it's we'll bookmark it. Keep it in our tools chest for the time being. Okay.
A lot of flight activity at the moment.
What we got here? Cancellations.
God, look at that. Look at all those planes. God.
I can't see anything that says historic.
Yeah.
Products. What's there? Data reports, maybe. Frequently asked questions. History. Here we go. Did I paste it down the side there? I didn't I? Yep. Okay, so what do we got? Background.
Let's see. Flightware.com.
Flightware is the world's largest flight tracking data. They all sort of have all these flashy terms in their about sections. We're the best. Provides 10,000 aircraft. So that's the history of the site, isn't it? FlightAware releases. FlightAware opens. It's done a lot of changes each month. But we want historic data. Search all routes, private flights. Let's go to the FAQs. How often does one click the data? Flight tracking data. Have you found anything there, Thor, John, that we can jump straight to?
No.
That's got to be another thing that we're going to have to spend time on, downtime, researching. So we're going to have to look for another tool that we can use and dump the other one. This one looks more open source though. It looks more friendly than the other one, by reading that they want to keep it free, which is a good thing. But we want historic data, and there's a lot of reading here. Yeah, nothing's popping out to me at the moment.
Let's see.
Maybe you have to type flight weir historic playback or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I just did. I'm trying to take a look at see if
Flight weir or upwear? I already forgot
all
that.
right, so the two best sources
Aware.
for this type of data are flight aware and flight stats. They have
It's a separate site, is it?
Yeah, flight aware and flight stats. I'll copy the link and pop it in the side.
But that sounds like stats rather than historic data.
That one.
Well, there's a couple video tutorials on it. Finding historic flight information on Flight Trader 24. We know how to do that. But we want this other site. History of flight rear, we've been through there. Using new flight radar playback. So it's not coming up. Playback. So here's another one called Radar Tracker. So we can have a look at that one maybe. Yes, playback is available for individual flights. Let's flight radar again.
What's this?
FlightAware expands coverage. Planefinder.net versus flight radar versus FlightAware. So let's have a look at that one. So they look like the top ones, all those three. Oh yeah, it had to be Mick West, didn't it? 2012. So FlightAware has been around for a while too, but so it's so has he got a playback function there on FlightAware? Obviously he's played around with it. FlightAware is much better compared, but where's the playback function? They don't talk about flight stat here. Track all flights. I need to look up specific flights. I don't have a smartphone, so I can't use their mobile apps. Yes, lots of reading. So that's sort of kicked us back. I wasn't expecting that today, to be sabotaged like that. That's what it is, basically. And I've talked to the support on Twitter, and they've never ever bothered replying, ever. So that just tells me the arrogance of the company. Well, actually, they did reply on UTC. So I take that back. They did reply once on the UTC business. But that's normally how good you know a company is by their supports, generally. And if they offshore,
I would agree with that.
And if they offshore it to cut and paste monkeys, that really does gives you a clue that they don't really care about the customers, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they're only concerned about the money. That looks like.
Well, I'm not finding anything here. I'm doing different searches, and I'm not coming up with squat.
Does have a plain map here, so unless you know the city locations, I guess you're stuck.
Yeah.
They probably got a plain map because they did it themselves, and they don't have to pay royalties to Google Earth or anyone like that that makes the maps. To me, it looks like it's all current flights, not playback function here. But it looks like we could use it if it's got a playback function. Maybe we need to ask Mick West since he's explored it. Flight away, can you tell us how to use it for historic data? It probably doesn't have it. That goes on and on and on here. Anyway, that didn't help us find the answer, unfortunately.
No, it did not.
Maybe it's on the app, so maybe you have to install the app on Android or something to see if it's got the playback button or something. Tracker map. Anything there? Flight status. You talked about that one, didn't you? The flight stats.
Yep. Yeah.
Flight tracking.
Those didn't go anywhere.
Flight aware. Talks about live. We obviously want not alive. We want historic, so it's not live. It's going to be staring at us in the face. It probably has it. We're just not seeing it. I think I already got it open though, haven't I? It's got to be here. It's got to be random flight. Browse by airports. How about dates? Browse by date. Random flight weather. E-meter. E-meter. What's that? Is it down here? It's got to be here, man. It's got to be here. We're just not seeing it. Browse by plane type. My eyes given up the ghost, unfortunately, on this bright background. Playback. There must be a playback. I just don't believe it. Oh, there's Antarctica down there. Okay. Well, I think that's probably ended our stream, actually. I think this has killed our stream for now. So I might just leave those two there. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have much time to research in the downtime. Other people are going to have to help me out here. So we can actually close those ones off a bit better. But there was this other one, so we'll forget that for the time being. But at least we know about another flight tracking software, at least. In that. So it wasn't total waste. So let's have a look at this other one, which had a video that we downloaded. So let's see if we can refresh our minds what it was talking about again. Oh, that was the 3 friends one that made us chuckle. Group of friends. Tried that American voice this time. See
One friend said river.
Right, guess what?
Some nature.
It's gone to the wrong location again.
That descended behind some trees. 3 thought it was a supernova as was so bright. Its descent was startling, so friend grabbed their phone from nearby car to record. for not sure of the exact shape as was obscured by what seemed to be orbiting lights around a structure. Approximate disc-shaped. Made a wind-rushing whirring hum noise. 5. The scared to be out in the open, went and sat in nearby car, felt safer. 6. It turned out of view.
So I think he's broken it down to 6 bullets. So let's see if we can have a look at the video. I did download it, haven't actually looked at it. Whereabouts was it? Live Sunday, no. New Zealand Live. Could be one of these. Let's just go into these, just check. I did back it up somewhere. No, it's not that one. New Zealand Live, probably. Oh, there we go. 61660. Is it really that old? That case? Let's have a look. We got the right one. Yep, 61560. So it's pretty old. 2014. So let's have a look at the video. And let's be wowed by this light. Okay, it's going onto the wrong screen, so I'll just drag it across. Oh, it won't let me drag it. This always happens. You've got to make it into a little window first. So here we go. Obviously done with a smartphone. And as we expected, overexposed piece of light. It could be anything. It could be a plane in the distance. And of course, we're probably not going to be able to find out on the plane map whether there was one over the area. As I showed, though, that you could see the flight path up and down the coastline of South Island there, going past Temuka. And this one was Temuka, I think it was. So there is some sound there. I'll just pause it and play it again. I don't know if there's any swearing in it, though. Cable. Okay. I'll make it next on screen so you can see it better. And let's do it. And I'll zoom in as well because it's too small. Okay. Here we go. Hey, we got some light. No, now we got no light. See if I can zoom in more. Not sure if you can hear that or not. It's pretty low down. Where's it gone? Where's the light gone?
Here we go.
You're a wee bit behind though.
The light. Mine popped up, so I had to
right.
address it.
Looks like the light went behind. Maybe it looks like a tree line in the dark there. Probably have to put it through editor and lighten it. Is that going loud enough? Should be going through the right mixer. Let's amp it up a bit.
Oh god, it's turning around and coming this way. But it was so bright over there. Hard, and now it's so hard to see, but you can still see it behind those trees.
I can't see anything. So we're looking at
Yeah. No, you can't see it on the phone.
Trees.
Yeah,
so the light was coming down this way.
and it's getting bright again. So I'm gonna get close to the car. No.
Well, I can't see any light on the camera.
Yeah.
What?
Really,
really
it's an alien. Oh, look, it's all flickering, all different colours and shit.
I know.
What the fuck? I don't know.
It's circle and it is like it looks like a giant LED.
Ah. Holy.
Giant LED.
This is why we don't like smoker people. Holy shit! I can't actually believe what I'm saying. It does look like a fucking flying saucer.
Oh, there are some surround. Oh, there's a light.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about 1 pixel. Here we go. It's down here now. So he's moving the camera all over the place.
I don't know.
So yeah,
It looks far
another
away, but it
great,
looks close, and it doesn't.
another great UFO video.
It doesn't look like it's getting further away.
Spud cam. So yeah, again, it could be anything in the sky. It could be a satellite, couldn't it? Iridium satellite passing over the horizon. Could be International Space Station.
It's not going anywhere.
Could be a plane. Oh, here we go. We got some lights here finally.
I can see it on my phone again. Oh my god.
Good, great. Yeah, let's move the camera around a little more, shall we?
And I got it zoomed in, remember? I haven't got it super zoomed because I kept losing it.
Right.
I'll zoom it in a bit more. To me, where's it gone over that way? Where's it gone?
You gotta keep spinning the camera.
I can't see it now.
Whoops.
It's only what? What the fuck?
There it is. Right, now we got some movement. Looks like a plane.
Yes.
There you go. It's blinking. It's a plane. It's got the famous AC red light there. I don't think we need to look at that much longer, actually.
Yeah, it's like
There you go. You can see the blinking light there. So that sort of told you. It was a plane heading towards them, then turned. It looked like a small plane, maybe like a 2-engine. They have a lot of prop planes that fly up and down the coast there, because obviously there's not too much traffic heading down that way because it's colder than Christchurch. And they have like a, these prop planes. I'll show you. Actually, and they might actually be on the plane via the map that we could bring up. But I'm so annoyed with them right now. I'm lost for words. See, they have these like 2-engine. Hello. That's not how you spell propeller, is it? In New Zealand.
Yeah, they're probably just those little 2-engine Hamlin dash 8s.
I'm not sure
They
what
could carry
the
about-
model number are, but here they go. Operational fleet. But they're not the only country. So these are common ones that we have flying between the islands. Have we got any other pictures?
That's the 737.
Yeah, that's not what one I'm thinking of. Let's see if we can find some images. So we're looking for prop planes. Here's one here. So it looks like it could be one of these, which I'm not sure what the model make is. But there are smaller ones again, but they do have like, is it 50 seats in them or 20 seats? Fly down from Christchurch.
Yeah, those look like they carry quite a few people. Probably about 48 seats or so. Yeah.
And they have these even smaller ones here. They got the longer ones here. That's Canada though, but we do have those ones in New Zealand as well. And there's another company in New Zealand, Qantas, also pulled out of New Zealand, I think. Is it?
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. I think they stuck between the main capitals only and didn't do the flights in between and all that sort of stuff. So what's airlines in New Zealand? Let's see what's currently available.
Yeah, they,
Oh, I've got pictures up. Get out of that soon. I better keep it on my thing. We got 10 minutes left. So what ones have we got now? Air Chapman's, Air New Zealand, Nelson, Air New Zealand, Air Work. 9 more rows, so we need to look at that list. Wikipedia. Obviously, I don't fly much, so I don't know all the different airlines. Fly My Sky, Fly Barrier Air, Golden Bay Air. Because these obviously between regions, close regions, only go between certain airports. Golden Bay Air.
right.
Mount Cook obviously is between Christchurch and Mount Cook. Probably between Nelson, also Mount Cook, and places like that, not too far away. Sounds Air, Sun Air. Look how small that one is. That's just like a Piper. Stewart Island
Yeah, pretty
flights.
much.
Stewart Island flights. Another small plane there. See, those little planes scare the hell out of me because they're the ones that crash a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
And there was another company too. I don't think that's the full list. I'm just trying to think of the cheap flights. New Zealand. I suppose you could look it up. I didn't see Qantas in the list there, did you? I didn't see
Nope.
Qantas. Cheap flights. But we still got 3 watching. We haven't scared off everybody. Despite our UFO stuff come to a bit of a halt there. So flights to Christchurch, 244. From where though? Just trying to see what companies offer it. Cheap flights to New Zealand. Let's have a look at that one. Right, I was hoping for a current list rather than searching. Oh, right, Jetstar was the one I was thinking of. Have you heard of Jetstar before? I think that's what one mum uses when she flies down to see sister at the bottom of South Island. She gets on Jetstar. It costed about $59 to go one
That's
way.
not bad.
$59 New Zealand. That's really good. And for $100 and something or $99 sometimes you get a return ticket. So that's pretty good. Half-hour drive time from Christchurch non-stop to South Island, bottom of South Island. And the flight time there is like 30 minutes or 40 minutes or something like that between Christchurch and the bottom of the South Island. But as you can see there, a New Zealand map, you can actually drive across it in a day. You can see the width is very narrow compared to the length of the island. So yeah, as you can see here, it's very narrow across. It's longer and it is wider. As Captain Cook and all the other explorers said, it was called the land of the long white cloud because often they'd start heading towards where it's meant to be located, and before they saw land, they always saw a big white cloud, which was sort of hanging over the island. Maybe because it rained a lot, I don't know, but because of the air currents, it seemed to always have air that cloudy clouds form around the islands before they saw landfall. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think that's all we can really talk about. Really, that one there, obviously, you can see it was red lights and blinking.
Right.
Thing.
It was pretty obvious there towards the end.
Yeah, to the end. So yeah. Close tabs. But a lot of people get caught off plane lights because the planes have these big landing lights that are shining forwards.
Yes.
Okay.
And it looks like it's stationary.
Yeah, because it's flying towards you. It looks like it's hovering. And because it goes behind the trees, obviously it's coming down in altitude as well. And I think at the beginning there we saw the sea coastline. So not too sure which direction we were looking there, but it looked like the sea was on the left and they went slightly inland, which would make sense because the plane flight was flying on a flight path that's clipping some of the sea as well as the land. So anyway, better wrap up. And yeah, the string wasn't too bad going, I thought. And yeah, some glitches that we got there, wasn't it, from the software. So whether we can get around that problem, I don't know, without paying money. So let's pan back to my end credits. And do like and share, and see you again Thursday evening. It will be slightly earlier, by 3 hours, hopefully. So let's just kick it off, and do join our Discord channel where we talk about this stuff and other things, of course. So we should have some sound going. Multiple windows I have to open. And the healer's going to shut the power to the whole complex down. This is why I've got UAPs here. Which we still haven't got batteries for. So we're in trouble. I think it's going to cost $40 a battery too. I think I've got 3 batteries. Buy a new one for $277 or buy replacement batteries. Goodbye to everybody.